morning. It's the next day. We're just having some breakfast, then we'll get set up and head back to the coast and have a look at the wreck site. Over here behind these trees there's some camps and that from the survivors and some other bits and pieces to look at, so we'll go and do that. And probably spend quite a bit of the day. We're actually going to do a bit of fishing off the rocks here to see if we can catch a fish, and then probably in the afternoon head south to a better fishing spot to do some more fishing. So we'll probably get to see everything here we need to in a day. So once we get packed up, we'll be heading to the coast. As I said last night when we were here, 300 years ago a Dutch ship ran aground here in the night. About 200 people around, they think, survived and spent their time up here trying to signal other ships and work out what they were going to do. There's a few camps back up in there that I've tracked down from the survivors. They probably would have stayed in places initially, maybe with the wounded people there. So the ship basically came in here, sort of would have lurched over. They think the rigging, because it would have been rough, would have saved him. They could have climbed up the mast and onto the deck down there. But we'll go down there and have a look and see what the survivors might have endured. Mark's got his fishing rod. He's going to chuck in a bait to see how he can, what he can do, what he can catch. But when you think about it, this exact path would have been trodden by the sailors clambering up the cliff, wondering what the hell had happened. So the primary discoverer was a guy called Tom Pepper, and he worked on the stations and actually lived in the GJR camp that we visited. And he told a guy who was a petroleum exploration guy, geologist, about it, called Philip Playford. And he came down in an old Land Rover and beat his way to here just on description, and found all the masts and the bits and pieces strewn all around here, and coins on the rocks here. And using the coins, he dated the ship and worked out that it was a Zuytdorp, and then spent the rest of the next handful of years organising explorations to come out and see what they could salvage. So pretty cool to be standing right here where all this happened. As you could imagine, a ship wouldn't really, a wooden sailing ship wouldn't hold a chance for any length of time up against these rocks and a big swell. And there's blowholes. It's all undercut. There's a blowhole. There's another one over here. Another big blowhole. This might have been the one that one of the guys actually went down and took a look. One of the guys from the expeditions in the 50s. So Mark's got a fish over here, so we're going to go over and see if we can take a look. That would cap it off nicely. Bit of dinner for tonight. Let's see if we can make our way. Oh, I'll get around there and then start the camera again.
I'll get another one. This place just never gets fished. It's so remote.
First cast, Mark got a baldy. It's pretty tough fishing out there. Let's see if Mark can catch another one. Originally I said the carpet of silver I think was off there, but it's actually over here. So I went up and got my maps that I made up, and if you can see, actually, I'll get down at the bottom and I will put them on the ground. So that boulder there is that boulder there, and that boulder here is that boulder in past this, past that one there. So when you have a look at that, fling it around the right way. When you turn it around the right way, is that the right way? No, that's the right way. Put it around the right way, the ship was basically from here to here, and the silver is over there, and there was cannons, or still is cannons and anchors and things just out there, right on the, pretty well just right off the edge of these rocks. I also printed off, get out of the shadow, this map which shows where the artifacts have been found, and where I'm standing, as you can see right there, is that boulder there. So right here where I'm standing was where they found coins. They found some more coins up in here, and then up on the top of the rooftops they found smashed bottles and bits and pieces and bits of mast and that down here. So that's the map of all the artifacts they found when they first time they come across it. Very interesting. And then I've got one last map which shows all the original survivors' campsites back near where we camped, so we'll go and take a look at those as well. This reef's all undercut. You can see from the blowholes, and in here you can see part of it from the top here that's fell in. And when you have a look at how jagged these rocks are, a wooden ship doesn't have a chance, and the people on it, you can imagine just getting ripped apart by these sorts of things. Yeah, that would just cut you in half. Must be just tangled up down there, nothing on it, or nothing I can pull out at least. There's a cray pot, there we go. Someone's coming up here crayfishing. So it's a bit sketchy here, a few holes to watch out for. One right there, next to my leg. So that's the rest of the coastline. Up there I can see a big pillar. I'm wondering if that's where that other road goes to. I'm heading back up the hill. And we're going to head north because I've just noticed there's a big column that's off the coast a little way, sort of like a monument sitting out in the ocean. I just want to go and see if we can get to it. So there's a road north. We'll go up there and see if we can get to it and see what it is. We're just going to stop here and walk to the edge and see if we can see this monument thing. There's not much in the way of vegetation just here. So there it is there. That's what we could see. I'm not going to get too close to there because this is all limestone and undercut. But there's like a natural bridge. So that was a pretty cool monument rock. We're just heading now back to the wreck and then we're going to head inland, and there was some survivors campsites in there and a more modern caretaker's hut, and we'll go and take a look and see if we can see where these survivors campsites might be. I don't know if we'll see too much, they're 300 years old, but we'll go take a look at that. So a bit of a climb back out through a couple of gullies.
So this is one part. If you don't like getting the scratches, you better block your ears because a lot of the track is like this.
You reckon this is the other track? Oh no, that's the chicken track, isn't it?
That are pretty scratchy. So if you don't like the scratches, you can't.
Yeah, sorry, I thought that was actually the other track coming down there, but I think it's just that we're on a little bypass here.
Found what is another another road. So we're going to go and have a look at. This one should take us to the survivors' campsites and the old burnt out caravan and a couple of other things we think.
This is starting to look a bit more familiar. I think the old caravan might have been in this tea tree thicket in front of you here somewhere, or maybe we're right where you are.
Yeah, it is. I can see it.
Right, yeah, this is much more familiar. Oh, yeah.
So this is the caretaker's caravan that when he wasn't here, someone obviously didn't like him caretaking and actually burnt it down. Burnt it to the ground. And this would have been the cable that they used when they put the big pulley up on the top of the deck trying to get people into the water. You see that on the pictures, and I'll put a picture in. So there's the pulley. There's some of the legs they cut off. There's the rest of the legs. And I can put a photo in to show that. And the cable from the other side is over there. And the story goes is that the guy that was going to go down there first wanted to put some rocks in there. They put 70 kilos of rocks in there because that was his weight. And it got halfway out and snapped and fell on the rocks. So if he had been first, he would have been in a bad way.
Not dead.
If not dead. There's the front of the van.
Gas bottle there.
So someone didn't like the caretaker. We're just looking for the survivor campsite, which is basically right here somewhere. We're right on it here. This bit of a clearing here is probably it. It's within a couple of metres of here. So I'd say right through this cleared area here. Will be where a bunch of them decide to camp. And down there, this track is a gully, and it's probably where they dug a hole or a well, or maybe found water down there. Could be standing here where 100 Dutch sailors were sleeping on these rocks. Oh, well, let's go and take a look at the next spot. We're going to head back to the road and then walk down to what they call Lemira's hut, which is one of the caretaker's huts. I think he was a abalone fisherman. And then there's another survivor camp called Survivor Camp 3 further down there as well. So we might take a look at that. Am I going the right way? So we're just climbing the other side of the gully. Can't be too far away. So Lemira's hut should be up here, not far away. Actually, it should be right in here. Here it is. See it. Here it is here. So this was the hut of one of the caretakers slash abalone fishermen. Just a bit of tin in there. You wonder if he was up here, up on the ridge, which is unusual for the wind, So you could see the ocean and just see what it was like, you know, without having to go down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like a homemade crow pot out of wire. There's his bed. Go for a little walk down here, see what's here. Looking for the initials. So just heading back to the cars from Lamira's hut. This is Playford Road?
Playford's track.
Playford's track. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a road. Even though the Ambadell is a highway, they call that a highway.
I think this is the track he busted all the tea trees down with his
Yeah.
Land Rover in
So this track here
1954.
came in on a with a Land Rover and just drove over the top of all these tea trees to get here first time. So we're nearly back at the turnoff, which is just there, but this here, through here where the car is the remnants of the old runway that they put in when they were using planes for a short time to try and get supplies up here. So they come out here they drove a tractor all the way out here with some sort of scraper thing on it and built this runway, and the water's basically made it into a bit of a wash. Bit of rope. You can sort of see it up here.
I reckon that might have been the border edge.
Yeah, it's just a dropper post. Probably marked something to do with the runway. You can sort of see the trees are cleared in a line up through here. There's a fence post. That would be an old fence post. It's pretty rocky here. So another 45-degree rocky decline. Now we've just got to go up this little rocky bit, and I think that's the last of these gullies. So we're going to go down here and take a look at another shack, as I said earlier. So the turn off is a couple of k's down here, and then we'll find probably somewhere to go fishing. Scratchy, somewhere to go fishing tonight. So that's what we'll be up to. We're just on the edge heading to this shack. I'll just turn you around. There's the ocean. Kalbarri's down there. The shack should be over to our left. Mark's just stopped up there because he's got a bit of a noise. Hopefully it's not a tyre or something.
Front left tyre's flat.
Okay, I'll back up. He's got a front left tyre flat, so I better go back and see what he's up to. So we found the hole is not quite right in the sidewall, but it's just on the edge of the tread. And it's probably pluggable, so, well, you just about plug anything if you've got enough plugs.
It's going to be easy to plug. Righto, can you pass me the other? Jeez.
So what brand of tyres are these?
Toyos.
Toyos, they're supposed to be good.
Yeah. How far in do you normally go?
Out there,
Down
yep.
there? Pull it out fast.
Yep.
There you go, so well.
Need another one. That's it. Just hold. Yep. Just sort of hold the legs and then that's it.
Just leave it.
I don't know. I'll probably. Yeah.
Why don't we just drive down to the next spot and we'll just.
We can check it
Still,
on the way
if
out.
it's only slow leaking, we'll just whack a bit more in on the way back and it's no
Yep.
drama.
So this is just about the end of the road. So there's the shack over there. It's quite a substantial one, that one. Quite in good nick.
Bloody hell, it's even got a crapper.
It has. So take a look. So this is some of the shacks that the fishermen put together. This one's even got a toilet.
This is a beauty. Big rim.
Tractor room, yeah. Geez, this one's fancy. It's got all the stories.
There's a shower. Bloody shower.
A shower.
Yeah, it's got a solar shower bag in there.
Well, there you go. Don't know if the beds are that comfortable. It's got the old metas. What's it say up here? Please keep tidy.
What a cracking setup.
So this shack, they've gone to the trouble of putting a toilet in. This is pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Fresh toilet paper and everything. Looks pretty clean off the end of those rocks.
Amazing coastline here. Unreal.
It's got a shark's tooth down there like the one at Kalbarri.
Yeah. Imagine
I
the
better-
abalone that would have been on this before they all got sort of killed by that hot water.
So down here there's the path, and just down here you can see there's like a rope ladder. So it's quite steep for if you catch a fish you got to lug it all the way back up. And especially that last piece here is very, very steep. So there's some good fishing holes here. You see there's this one here. There'll be fish in there and you can cast off on a good day out off those shelves. And pretty well out in front here is all clear water, so you could be standing on those shelves on a good day and casting out there. And because we're so far north and no one comes out here, there could be anything in there. So we're leaving the shack, had lunch, made a sandwich. Now we're heading back out to the main road, and we're going to try and get south to a particular fishing spot. So here's another section where you don't want to be worried too much about your paint. So we just seen this old shuttle here, so we're going to go to see what it's doing out here. It's just a bit unusual, bit of an unusual thing to have out in the middle of nowhere. So here's the shuttle. It's like a bit of a makeshift
Water
trough. There's like an old tyre under it. There's a truck tyre under it. Someone would have to come and turn that on and fill that up all the time. It's bizarre for it to be just out here.
Maybe it's a way of trying to get goats to come to a point to be culled or moved.
You'd think you'd put it closer to the road.
You would.
So back at the car we walked out to that shuttle. It looks like some sort of temporary watering thing for something, but it would have been hard to get it filled up and do, you know, like a one-off thing. So anyway, I will change the batteries and get on our way. So we're just driving through some of these low scrubby plains at the moment, heading south, and they just go on forever. And there's really nothing else out here except this track, yourself, and the scrub. Little rocky patches scattered throughout. There you go, back at the fence. So there's a few lines, don't know if you can see them, there's a few lines on the car, a few speed stripes. There's a nasty one. Just heading down a little track on the side to check out a spot, a fishing spot. So the cars are up there and we're going to walk along here, this ridge, this gully, to find the fishing spot. Have to get up on top. Where to fish? There. That channel. So we'll head back and get the fishing gear and let's try that spot out. It's like a moonscape in here. Don't know if you can see in the sun there, all the nice pinstripes. There's some deep ones. Oh well, that's what you get, I guess. Okay, let's get set up to go down there fishing. So there's two gutters here, one here and one here, and we're going to go to this second gutter. try to see what's there and try and catch something. All those little ghost crabs running away. They actually go right up into the dunes, looking for, it must be cockroaches and different things that are up there. Not a bad cast. Yep, bait's gone. See if there's one of those little crabs around. No bites yet, so no fish for dinner. Doesn't get much better than this. So that was some little ghost crabs. Pretty cool little critters. Sun's going down. Just about the end of the day. See if we can catch a fish. And go up and have some dinner and tuck in all night. So we're going to call it quits. Caught a couple of tailor right there, and we'll head back to the car and cook up some dinner. So not the big mulloway we were hoping. Okay, now we take the long walk up the hill, across the gully and back to camp. And Mark's cooking.
I'm reheating.
Look at that pretty cool setup that slides under that fridge. That'll burn down nicely. And I've got the swag over there, sort of on half on the track, or the track ends, goes up there a bit. So that'll be it for tonight. Have something to eat, a beer and bed. So I'll probably catch you in the morning. So it's the next morning, and in the night we turned to a howling easterly, and you can see the swell lines out here. There's huge swells, and you can see just continuous swell lines. So if you're a surfer, you'd be loving it. Down at Jake's, I bet you it's going on. So we're just going to get packed up and head out, and today's the last day, so we've got to slowly make our way out of here, and then plan is to get back home. So get everything packed up and on the roof, and we'll be away in 15, 20. So let's have a quick look at from up there what the camp was like. It's not too bad, a bit exposed, but yeah, everything's packed up. Sun's up. It's going to be a warm one today, about 32 degrees south of here in Kalbarri. Well, it's not that warm, but it's warm for the start of spring. So yep, let's hop in and get on with it. So we're getting closer to the station. There's a track off to a fishing spot. And the road's getting quite good here, so we can get along at about 40 k's. Just got to be careful, there's a lot of kangaroos crossing the road. So not too bad now, so it should be a pretty good run back out. We just got to go back, and I'm going to change the tyre on the front of the Colorado because of the stake in the sidewall, just for the high-speed run home on the bitumen. And that will be the end of the trip. That's the end of the Zuytdorp expedition. We just come into Kalbarri, we changed the tyre on the Colorado and got some food and drinks. We now got a 6-hour trip back to Perth. And yeah, that was a really interesting one. If you like history and like shipwreck history and WA coast history, I hope you enjoyed this one. So until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. And I just stopped at Jake's because the swell's cranking, and this is one of the best left-handers in the state and in the country, so I thought I'd stop in and take 5 minutes to watch these guys surfing these waves. So see you later.